at the camera. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, all you plant lovers out there. Thank you for joining us on our channel, Wet.Our.Plants. This is our very first YouTube video ever, right? Ever. So this is Marsha and I'm Tamzin, and we're just here because we want to share some information and some of our knowledge about plants, and maybe some
maybe learn a few things along the way too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And some things maybe that I may say that are not correct, so some misknowledge. That happens.
Basically what works for us.
Exactly. Yes. So that's what we're planning on with this channel, and we're going to show you guys some different plants, and we love to talk about plants. That's what we do. So so if you're okay with it, Marsh, if I could tell the story on how we came up with our name.
Absolutely.
So one night, Clint and I, my boyfriend, we were sitting down, and we were smoking our plants. Can I say that on YouTube, do you think?
I think so.
Yeah. Talk about getting high on YouTube. So anyway, we were having a little... we were smoking our plants. And we were talking about how Marsha and I want to start a YouTube channel about plants. So we're just sitting there, and he's like trying to be really supportive and engaging with me. Like, oh, so what are you guys going to do on your channel? And I'm like, well, we're going to talk about plants. We're going to talk about plant things. And he's like, okay, so what's the name? What name have you guys come up with? And I'm like, we don't have a name yet. And he's like, well, what are you thinking? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm thinking. But he's like, so, well, what do you do with plants? And I'm like, well, you water them, I guess, like, right? That's what I do. I walk around and water all my plants, like, a lot. So anyway, he's like, well, why don't you call it Your Plants? And I'm like, that is a fantastic name. So I actually was writing this down as we were going along, and I took a picture and I sent it to Marsha, and she's like,
perfect.
Yep, it's
easy.
Good. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, when I went to go and try and put that name in, it ended up that somebody else had it. So we changed ours to Wet.Our.Plants. And that's kind of how that name came up. I know it's kind of weird, and your brain kind of goes to different places when you think of the name, right?
But it's all about watering your plants, keeping your plants healthy.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I actually thought of, you want to know where my brain went?
Maybe.
I thought of, we're getting older now. Like we're closer to older than younger, I guess you could say.
Yes.
Right? And so my head went to the whole, how sometimes when people laugh and stuff, they will pee in their pants. Well, like women,
yes,
I guess,
of course.
And I mean, I know that's a problem for some people and stuff, but eventually we're all going to get to that point. Like eventually in life, that's what's going to happen. So that's where my brain went to. Maybe we'll be on this YouTube channel until then.
Maybe. I hope so. We'll see. We'll see where this takes us for sure.
That's right. So anyway, we just wanted to start off by introducing ourselves and kind of letting you guys, get to know us. And so we're going to let Marsha start with her plant story or plant journey, whatever you want to call it.
So plants have always been a part of my life. It's been a part of my childhood. My mom has had plants when I was younger. One of my first memories is about a mother of thousands plant. She had one of those plants, and it's like a succulent, and they grow their little babies along the side. Unfortunately, I don't have one of my own, but the babies you could just knock off, and you just push them into the dirt and they would grow again. And I loved it. And I remember this from being a really young child. And I'm very fortunate that I gained knowledge through my grandmothers, of course, my Auntie Florence, my Grandma Chrissy, and of course my Granny. And it's just always been a part of me. And I've been very fortunate to share this with my friends, and they've all become quite plant crazy now. I wouldn't say plant crazy, plant lovers like I am. So
you could call it crazy, call it what it is.
Yeah.
Just accept me for who I am, right?
I find for me, it's watering my plants, taking care of my plants. It's a de-stressor for me. It's one of those so-called household chores, I guess, that I'll go do that first before worrying about my laundry or my dishes, because I do feel better after getting that done. Of course, it takes me a while because I have quite a few plants. However, I find joy in it, and it is something that does calm me down, ground me, I guess is the word that I should use, because that truly is what it is for me.
Yeah.
So that is my plant story. I've just always had plants. I've had a variety of plants. I've really had success with plants, and then, as you'll hear, not so successful sometimes, and that's okay.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Marsha's kind of the plant guru, we could say, because that's, okay, let me just tell my story. So this is my story. My story, it's her. So it's all Marsha. Like, my plant journey is because of Marsha. Marsha has taught me to, like, really look at the plant as this living, beautiful thing that it's like an art form almost. And she's really taught me that, and to kind of slow down for 1 second and look at beautiful things. So that is something that I want to thank you for.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Because it is really, this whole thing is because of her. So that's my story. And I'm sticking to it.
Exactly. Easy. And everyone's going to love what they love, right? There's going to be some plants you don't like and some plants that you do.
That's right.
Absolutely. And in fact, we wanted to share some of our top 5 plants that we like, our favorites. This changes. So we can start with my favorite 5 at the moment.
Yes, absolutely.
So unfortunately, we are at Tamzin's house today, and as I said, a lot of my plants are well established and quite large, and so they're not mobile. So I do have some pictures I'll quickly try to show you, and of course we'll definitely add those to the comments after if you do want to take a look at the actual pictures. However, we'll start, like I said, it's my grandmother, a family thing, loving plants.
I'm actually going to try to put that in. Like, if I can figure out how to put a picture on here, we're going to do that. Because
we'll add them one way or another.
Yeah, we'll try and get them for you guys on there. So, not very tech savvy when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Sorry.
Okay, so here we go. One of my top 5s, and this is a favorite, all-time favorite, is my granny's Christmas cactus. I was so fortunate to inherit this after she passed away a few years ago. I'm unsure of how old this plant is because she had it for many years before it was given to me. And the great thing about this plant is when she did pass, we split it up. There's so many of my family members that took a cutting off this plant, and at first I was really scared. I thought it was going to be hard on the plant, but it thrived, and she's doing so well, as you can see from the picture. She blooms a few times a year. We call her my granny plant. It is a Thanksgiving cactus, and I'm fortunate enough that it's happy where it's sitting in like kind of a southwest sun, and blooms at least 3-4 times a year. So that is my that's always going to be a favorite. That's a top 5 for me all the time. I talk to my plants. I especially talk to my granny plant. My daughter, everybody talks to granny. So it's one that we touch, we love. Even when other family members come over, you do. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely one of my favorites. My next top 5 that I love, and right now, it's so full and it's starting to bloom. It's hard to see in the picture, but it's a type of prayer plant. And this one, what did we say it was? A I'll have to check the actual name.
Yeah, we'll try and list it right there.
The proper names.
Yeah.
We're going to try.
Exactly.
We're newbies. It's going to work out.
That's right. And you know what? This is what you see is what you get, because
Absolutely.
This is raw and unedited.
Yes.
This is Wet Your Plants.
Wet Your Plants.
Raw and unedited, because you know what? We're all about being authentic. So
Absolutely.
Who needs to edit your video if you don't know how? Not me. Not this person.
All right, this one is an Alocasia, it's called. And this particular plant was a gift to me from our friend Brandy for my birthday a few years ago. And anybody who has an alocasia knows they can give you quite a journey. They will sometimes go into dormant stages. Sometimes you'll lose some leaves, and then all of a sudden you get these new growths on it. And in fact, the reason I'm loving mine right now is it's hard to see in the pictures, and I apologize. We'll get some films done at my house. I got a brand new baby coming. Her leaf just unfurling, and it's so exciting when the baby leaves start to come. And I think
it is.
Truly, that's one of my reasons why I'm loving it right now.
And this is why she had and how she got me into plants, because now I do the exact same thing.
You get excited.
Oh, look it. We have a kitty that visited us.
Oh.
This is
Titus.
Titus is a special kitty, and he actually just came with the house. So he he's here.
He's here.
You may hear him crying, because that's what he does. He walks around and he just cries.
Yeah.
And then I pet him and pick him up and then put him back down, and he carries on.
And we carry on.
So
on to my third favorite. And again, I'm loving it. The size of this Tri-Star Stromanthe is amazing. It also has a brand new baby. Look at that little leaf that's just curling out, and the color is so cool. As you can see, the leaves are kind of the green and the yellow, but then you see that red underneath the leaves. And this one, of course, it stands quite tall.
And there's
in
like
my
pink.
house.
There's like
Pink
blush kind of color in it too. It's so pretty. They're like one of my favorite plants right now. Yeah. So pretty.
Another one that's a very large one, and I've had for quite a few years. I was lucky enough to pick it up at called an Adopt Your Plant Day at a local plant store in town. And this one is a Moonlight Philodendron. Now you can see it is quite huge. And
when did you get that one? Like
about 4 years ago at least.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and again, maybe this is why I'm liking all the new babies. See that little baby coming up at the back?
She's got the biggest plants. Like her house, I have like lots and lots of little plants, and she's got lots and lots of big plants. So,
and right now, one of my favorites, and has been for a few years actually, because you can't come into my house and not notice what I call magnificent aloe veras.
I call it majestic.
In fact, my aloe vera is blooming at the moment. I don't know if you can see, right above the door frame is how high the bloom of the aloe vera went. Now these ones here, as you can see, are really full in my house. I've got some mother babies, and I've got babies and grandbabies, and I think even great grandbabies in that pot. So one of our things that we will be filming is when we get to repot that big aloe vera and do some baby propagation. So
I get one.
Yes, you do.
I've already called one. I want one. So
there you go. That's my top. I think we got them all.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So, but one thing we didn't talk about is what is your least favorite? Because we all have that one least favorite plant that just, and those change too, because sometimes they perish, and then we just have another one that's a least favorite. So what do you think? So
I think this one is my least favorite, just because of not being successful. Tamzin's got a couple nerve plants. Now nerve plants are beautiful. They're very different variations in colors, and that's why I'm drawn to them. But over the years, every nerve plant I brought into my house has not survived more than a couple months. So I'm not sure. Anybody got some really good tips on nerve plants, please let us know. But so these are what they look like. And I'm going to show you Tamzin's little, she's got this for Mother's Day. Yeah, this was her Mother's Day gift. It's beautiful. From my oldest son. And so she's lucky. She's got 3 different kinds of nerve plants in there. And if you can see the beautiful reds and the pinks and the whites, they're beautiful, beautiful plants. It's just for some reason, they just don't like me. So we all have those plants, right? Yes. Like, I mean, some of us, it's faster death than others, but that, I've had some that didn't make it a week. And then I'm like, what did I do to you? Yes, exactly. So, but yeah. That's, we learn, right? Yeah. That's the thing about plants. They try to tell us what they need. So I just need to learn how to listen to nerve plants a little better, I guess. So, I think
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So actually what we will do is we will take our pictures of our top 5 favorites and our least favorite and put it on our Instagram page. So we do have an Instagram, and because of our name that is so awesome that we came up with it, somebody else had it on Instagram too. So when you look us up, it's Wet.Our.Plants, and you'll find us because we had to put the dots in there because somebody else had our name for that as well. So that's, we think we're original, and we're
apparently not
at all.
Exactly.
But follow us on Instagram. I guess I should say that because we have like 5 posts on that page, and only 4 followers, and you know who they are? One's Marsha, one's me, and then one's my chicken page called Bunchofmother Cluckers. You can follow that too if you want. But that, I followed it twice. And then our friend Kim, and she did it, I think, to be nice.
Yes.
So, but yeah, follow us on Instagram because we're going to try and post pictures from our films as well as just random ones anyway.
Stuff, yes,
so
exactly.
Okay, so I'll do my top 5. So I had a list completely ready, and then it changed last night. So
it always changes.
So yes, I find that my lists change often, especially when you bring a new plant in. You're like, oh, I love this plant. It's my new favorite plant. But anyway, so these are my top 5. I'm going to start, and I'm going to show you the actual plant because they're mine and they're here. So I'm going to start with my 5th favorite. Okay. So this one right here, I'm going to try not to hit my rattlesnake Calathea. But this guy right here, so there's a story with him. I'm actually going to move this for now. This guy's going over here for a minute because he's in my way. So I got this one, and this guy used to be about this tall. And he had a little accident. Well, actually, he didn't have an accident. He got ran over. He got ran right over by the dogs.
Yes.
And actually, Marsha was here when this happened.
Yes.
And I was so sad because these parts right here broke off, and so he was like half the size of what he was before. So I was like, oh no, my thing. So my first instinct was to take them and shove them back in the soil, and
what do you know? It worked.
And it's working so far. I don't know. I'm hoping, hold strong, my little friend, but I'm hoping that the roots do come out.
Yes,
and so we'll see what happens in the next little while. I'll keep you guys updated. But also, I want to tell you this. When I was looking at this plant, this was the next thought that came to me. So, when you get a plant and it's like, this is a beautiful plant. Look at this beautiful, majestic looking, slender, elegant plant. This is not that.
No,
and this
not
is
anymore.
Like, you know what? I was thinking, it's okay. You know what? It's okay to be different. It's okay if you're a little weird or odd. And it's okay if you're a little bit chubby, because actually this plant makes me think of myself. And I really, really like it. I think that's why I like it so much.
I love it too. It's so unique, and it is beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? For this part being just stuck into the ground, I think by now he'd be droopy and everything if you were going to lose him, and he's looking healthy, even his lower leaves and stuff there. So I think you're on the right track.
So hopefully this one, I don't know, hopefully he'll make it. But anyway, so this is my 5th favorite, and that's the reason why right there. So my 4th, oh my goodness, you guys. My 4th one is big and it's heavy, but I'll bring it over for
beautiful.
you.
Look at okay, you hold it and can you see? Yeah, look at those beautiful leaves.
So you guys, this is a Chinese evergreen, and you know what this plant is called? BJ Freeman. This plant, yeah, legitimately, this is the name of this plant.
Awesome.
BJ Freeman. Like, where do you think a plant comes? No, this guy actually legitimately gave this plant his name to become iconic in the Chinese Evergreen Society.
That's
BJ Freeman.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love the muted lighter green in here, and with the dark variations, it honestly reminds a little bits of camo-y kind of type of, but it's beautiful.
It does, right?
Yeah.
Like it looks like camo.
Yeah.
So we talk about this plant an awful lot, and so I just have to say, I love BJ Freeman. I love you, BJ Freeman. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for the beautiful
the Chinese evergreen.
Yeah,
variation.
evergreen.
Yes, we appreciate it.
BJ Freeman. You guys need one of these guys. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him back over where he was at. Oh, maybe. There we go. So that's my fourth. Okay, so my third favorite, and again, I had a different list. This one here is called the furry feather. Well, that's what people refer to it as. It's a Calathea. Do you know the real name of it?
I don't know that, but we'll check it out. We'll post it. We'll do a little bit of
I think
research.
it's get out of my mouth. I think it's like rue something. I don't know. Rhubarba?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Barbara. I don't know. No, anyway, just kidding.
Oh goodness.
We're just here to have fun, you guys. But yeah, so this guy, the reason I picked him, and he's my number 3, is because this is the original Calathea that has gotten me interested in other Calatheas to collect them, and I have quite a few of them actually. I love them. They're probably one of my favorite, I would say, type of plants.
Well, and the great thing about Calatheas is that there is so many variations with beautiful colors and like patterns in their leaves, or even the shapes. Like this one, I love how slender these are and like long, and but they have that
the waving,
the ripple to it that gives it a really nice fullness that holds these nice long leaves then up too, right? So, and
the underneath, that's the thing I love about Calatheas, I think, is because the underneath, when they go up into prayer position, you know, at night, and you can see the color on the back, and these ones actually, this plant here is furry, like it's actually velvety on the back feeling, and yeah, so I love them. I think they're like just really pretty.
Yes, they are.
So he inspired me to go into that realm of plant collecting.
Yes.
So that was my what was that? 3?
You're on 3. Oh. We're down to 2. We're down to 2.
What was my
yeah, I was gonna say, because I think
this fella right here.
He's beautiful.
So this guy is my Raven ZZ, and he's statuesque. That's the word I use.
Speaking of Calatheas, and
yeah, no, they're everywhere. That's what I use when I talk about this plant. Is he is like, he's just standing so strong and tall. Yes. He's like nothing's gonna hurt me.
No,
you know,
good.
He's such a beautiful plant.
Yes, and ZZs are relative. Like they're actually an easy plant to care for anyway, too. So it's great. And this one, the color, the dark, deep color in this, it's hard to see even looking on the camera how like the black to it, right? Like it's a very cool color.
Yeah, it's like on some leaves it's like green and black. Some leaves it's like purpley black. Like it's really cool. It's just such a pretty plant. I love it. It's a beautiful plant,
yes.
And yeah, this is Clint's favorite. So we talk about this one actually quite a bit too.
There you go.
Is this plant, because this plant's tough looking. He's a tough looking plant.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, that's right. So that was 2.
Yep, now you're
I'm on 1.
You're 1.
See, that's why I need Marsha. I need Marsha in my life.
Grounded.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's true. We've only been friends for like 30 years.
Yes, exactly.
So, you know, it's... she's kept me grounded for a long time. She's probably super tired, actually, I would think.
I think it goes both ways. Absolutely. I forgot that you had this guy still.
So this is part of my number 1, because I actually have 2 that are number 1, and I'm going to tell you why. There's stories behind both of them. Marsha gave me this. This is really full of water. I take good care of this guy, because I want you guys to appreciate. So Marsha gave me this off of, what is this plant called?
Moses in a boat. Moses in a cradle?
Moses in a cradle.
I think it's Moses in a cradle.
Yeah.
I think.
It's so cool, you guys. So I need you guys to, can you see the roots on this?
They're so cool.
This is what I love about it, is these roots are so unique and they're hairy. Like they're actually hairy looking.
Yeah.
I love them so much. And I just actually love looking at this. I took pictures of it to put on our Instagram page. So you guys follow us on Instagram, Wet.Our.Plants. That's what you need to do. And so, but yeah, this one, I love it. Can I leave it in the water, do you think?
You can. Like,
do you think it's going to die though?
No, I think once you see your roots get to that point where they're like past the 6-inch, 7-inch mark, like they got a little bit of room yet. You want to get them into a pot, right? Otherwise you don't, the roots are just going to get too long, and then you want to be able to get them into a pot to root. So, but like, do water things like this, plants can live like that forever. If you want them to live like that and let those roots just keep growing, if you want to see the roots, it is like beautiful. It's
so pretty. I think I might put them in a bigger jar.
Bigger jar. Then you can really see them flourish. You bet.
And it's kind of a conversation piece too, actually. When like people come, they're like, "Oh, that's different." I'm like, I know, look at the roots on that. I don't know.
They truly are living things, plants. And seeing those roots in particular really, really proves that point. And those are quick. Like that clipping's 3 weeks old. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
actually.
like it's a pretty relatively new clipping too. So yeah.
No, it's older than that.
Is it already?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem that long
ago.
Really,
I don't know.
Okay, now show.
Okay, just wait.
Okay,
I have one more. There's one more for number one.
Aww.
This one. And we didn't even plan this.
Oh, that's awesome.
This one, I take care of it really well because this is a cutting from Marsha's granny plant, and I love it so much, you guys. Like, I asked her for it, and I've been like, I really want a cutting from Granny's plant, and look at you guys, there it is. So the story is, well, she explained Granny and stuff, but I loved her Granny too. And so this plant is really the plant that got me into loving plants, because when it flowered, and I'm not saying you need to flower to be beautiful, but
absolutely.
That plant, it's beautiful without flowering, but it flowered, and it was like the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen one flower like that one did ever in my life. So Marsha got me loving these plants, and I just thought that, you know what, this one is one of my favorites. I spend a lot of time making sure it's moist, and it's up right now. It's kind of in the sun because I want the roots to develop, but I really, really am excited for this one to get
I'm excited too. I am excited. And these are going to be, just be patient with it. However, they do propagate quite well. As you can see, I've cut this one off, and so they kind of join your plant. If you cut those off, make sure you get them buried nice and deep. All my family members that took some before, please show us your plants too that have grown over the last few years, because absolutely they do thrive. They do really great. So I'm so glad that got this top one. That's awesome.
Top one. Awesome. But yeah, so I really can't wait for this one to be as big as hers. That might take a really long time. I hope I live that long. Like that. I just thought of that. I will.
You're going to.
I will live that long.
Yeah.
Even if it's, till I'm 100, but whatever, I'll make it. So yeah, that was my number one. I love that plant so much. And now you guys get to see my nemesis.
Yes, I knew you were going to use that word.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, I have a bit of a cold. So you guys, I actually called Marsha last night and asked her if she could take this plant because I hate it. It's the Wandering Jew. And I don't know if are you allowed to say that
I think
name still?
Politically correct, PC, they call it now, Wandering Dude.
Oh, no, I'm just going to call it its original name. Okay. Let's go with what it is. This plant, I mean, they are so nice. Usually they are beautiful. Marsha's is humongous.
Yeah, I did have a great big one. When we renovated, it didn't do so well and had to be moved downstairs. But so now I've got little pieces just starting again. Oh, so I'm actually excited for you to give me this plant. I'll go.
Do you know what she told me, though? She on the phone. Do you remember what you said? go put it out on the deck. And I said, yeah, guess what? Wandering Jew, his name is actually Goldstein. You're going out to the deck. You're going to be a deck plant. You're banished. That's what I was thinking. Like when she said that, I'm like, yeah, you're going to the deck.
Well, the thing is, these plants, in the right climate, like as summer comes, they will thrive on the deck. And they are actually great as hanging plants. They do have a nice trailing, and when they're really healthy, the silver kind of shimmer that you get from these, in with that purple and that green, and again, underneath those really purple leaves.
Yeah.
It's hard to see. But
I'll reach because her arms are shorter than mine.
My little T-Rex arms, yeah. So they are a beautiful plant, and they will thrive in the warm summer months where we are. So, yeah.
Yeah, so this is going home with her today, and then once she gets it like in healthier shape, I'm going to take some cuttings off of you.
Yes.
And you're lucky you're not going to the deck. Here you go.
Awesome. Thank you.
No deck for you, I suppose. But all right, so we just wanted to share really quick our schedule, kind of what we're thinking for putting out videos. So we're kind of thinking right now, it's tentatively because, summer's coming, we got to get our gardens in and stuff like that. So we're going to be busy, but we're going to try to do a Tuesday short video. So that means under 10 minutes. And then on Fridays, we're going to try and do a longer video. So whether that's like 20 minutes or an hour, or like we actually went through this really fast. I was trying to plan it in my head how fast this was going to
I think we're doing good for time.
I was like thinking an hour. Because I usually talk a lot. So it's
we did good.
I know we did good. We did awesome. So we want to ask you guys to like and subscribe. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it because we had a blast. I mean, this is what we do anyway. So we might as well just film it and pretend like we're talking to other people that want to hear about it because everyone else around is sick of hearing about it. Right?
It's time to start sharing it with other people for sure. So,
absolutely. Yeah. So like and subscribe. Also remember to follow us on Instagram, and I guess until next time
we'll be wetting our plants.
We are going to probably one day do that.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
see you soon.
Yes. Goodbye. Thanks, guys.